وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا وفقها في الدين يا رب العالمين وألحقنا بعبادك الصالحين. يقول الله عز وجل: يا أيها الناس كلوا مما رزقكم الله حلالا طيبا إلى آخر الآية. We still continue inshallah on the book of foods. The next chapter that we have here within the book of foods is regarding Walimah, regarding invitation. If a person gives you da'wah for food, then you should accept it. Okay, this is from the hadith of Rasulullah, as we can see inshallah. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه أنه كان يقول شر الطعام طعام الوليمة يدعى إليها الأغنياء وتترك المساكين ومن لم يأتي الدعوة فقد عصى الله ورسوله. رواه البخاري ومسلم وأبو داود والنسائي وابن ماجه. Subhanallah. The hadith is in all 6 books. Sorry, Tirmidhi is not there. So 5 books: Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawud, Nasa'i, and Ibn Majah. 5 of the mother books of hadith. On the authority of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that the worst of food is the food of Walimah, which invites only to the rich people. Only to the rich. And the poor people are left out. وَتُتْرَكُ الْمَسَاكِينَ. Poor people are left out from inviting and coming and eating. And this happens a lot. There's a lot of weddings nowadays where you have a restriction of only 200 people or 100 people. From the boy's side, 100 people. From the bride's side, another 100 people. That's it. It's limited. And they only invite those that are good links with them. Anyone that's not a good link, you're not invited. Okay? This is what happens. So Rasulullah says this is the worst type of walima. If walima meaning a wedding feast, the worst type of wedding feast is the feast where the rich people are invited and the poor people are left out. Poor people are left out. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَأْتِ الدَّعْوَةِ. Subhanallah, I saw an Instagram reel that these 2 young couples, they got married and they were feeding the homeless people. Allahu Akbar. What a great blessed nikah, inshallah. Allah accept them, for their shortcomings and for everything. But at least they've done a good deed. At least that they done something that they will remember for the rest of their lives, and on the day of Qiyamah they'll be smiling, inshallah. And their marriages will be happy, inshallah. Because people feed 600, 700, 800, 1,000 people. None of them want to see you happy. They themselves are miserable. Most of them are miserable anyway. They want bad for you and for your whole family. So what's the point? Go and feed orphans. Go and feed the people that need the food. And then you'll see the barakah come inside your life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open the doors for you. وَتُتْرَكُ الْمَسَاكِينَ وَمَنْ لَمْ يَأْتِ الدَّعْوَةِ. And whoever is given da'wah, but he doesn't come to the da'wah. He's given da'wah, he's given invitation for food. This is general food as well. So for example, if I give you da'wah to my house and you don't come, okay? وَمَنْ لَمْ يَأْتِ الدَّعْوَةِ. And whoever does not come to the da'wah, he has disobeyed Allah and His Messenger. Okay? So it is wajib to go to respond at least to the da'wah. If you can't and you got a genuine excuse, then you have to tell the person, look, I've got a genuine excuse. I really can't make it. I'm sorry. Okay? But in general, it is wajib to accept the da'wah in general. ورواه مسلم أيضا مرفوعا إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم شر الطعام طعام الوليمة يمنعها من يأتيها ويدعى إليها من يأباها ومن لم يجب الدعوة فقد عصى الله ورسوله. This is a very similar narration. Okay. Next one we go into وعن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنهما قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من دعي فلم يجب فقد عصى الله ورسوله. Whoever is invited and he doesn't come, he doesn't respond to the invitation, he has disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. وَمَنْ دَخَلَ عَلَى غَيْرِ دَعْوَةٍ دَخَلَ سَارِقًا. And whoever goes into someone else's wedding feast and he goes and eats there without permission, without invitation, then what is he doing? He's going and eating like a thief, like a burglar, like a thief. Okay? He's stealing, as if he's stealing the food. وَخَرَجَ مُغِيرًا. And he comes out as a plunderer. رواه أبو داود. وعن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إذا دعي أحدكم إلى الوليمة فليأتها رواه البخاري ومسلم وأبو داود. This hadith is in Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawud. That again on the authority of Abdullah ibn Umar رضي الله عنهما, that Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, if you are invited to a walima, a wedding feast, or any feast for that sake, فليأتها, a person must come to it. وعنه رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دعا أحدكم أخاه فليجب عرسا كان أو نحوه. See here it mentions whether it is a wedding feast or other than a wedding feast. Okay, it can be a normal feast. If you know that that place has ma'asi, you can, ma'asi meaning it's full of sins. There's intermingling of the two sexes. This is something which is absolutely, categorically prohibited in our Sharia. Men and women cannot mix in the same hall. Okay? This is categorically haram. Absolutely haram. If you know there's definitely going to be music, if you know definitely there's going to be belly dancers, absolutely haram for you to go to that wedding. Complete opposite. In fact, if you go to that wedding, you're going to be disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Isn't it? That's the types of weddings, unfortunately, that are available because we are not giving the right tarbiyah to our children. Okay? So try as uncles, try as sasas, try as mamas, try as hufas to change this bad culture. Change this bad culture. Replace music for nasheed. You don't want to listen to Quran on a day where there's festivity? Fine. Listen to nasheed without music. The nasheed without the music, tones and lyrics. Listen to nasheed without music. You want to celebrate, celebrate. The men by themselves, women by themselves. Let the women take off their burqas upstairs completely. It's fine. Amongst the women, it's fine. But amongst the men, astaghfirullah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Okay, preserve your chastity and preserve others' chastity as well. Okay, preserve your deen. Because the downfall of the ummah is from women. Okay, the biggest test upon a man in this ummah is women. A man flies off the charts. 5 times salah, everything goes away. The moment he finds another affair, khalas. He's with her 24/7. So your deen goes, your everything goes. And in living in the West, you know how many times a man has married to a non-Muslim and then ended up his whole children, he himself as well, he's more or less off the deen. He says he's a Muslim, but what type of a Muslim? What remains of Islam? So this is very dangerous. This is very dangerous. Here, the next hadith we have, وعن جابر رضي الله تعالى عنه. So did I translate this previous one? That Abdullah bin Umar رضي الله عنهما, he said, Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, إذا دعا أحدكم أخاه. If anyone gives da'wah to one of his brothers, meaning any one of us, Muslim brothers, فَلْيُجِبْ عُرْسًا. Then he must respond to the invitation to the wedding feast. أَوْ نَحْوَهُ. Or anything similar to a wedding feast. Or anything similar to a wedding feast, like a small party, like a small da'wat. We call it da'wat. So small da'wat. You must respond to it. Rawahu Muslim. And then we'll see that, look, if a person is, for example, the day falls on a day where he's fasting. He fasts Mondays and Thursdays. Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays is a regular thing that he fasts. He wants to be more strict upon the sunnah. He fasts. He fasts for the reward as well, and he fasts for his health reasons as well. So it falls on that day. Let's say Monday lunchtime, somebody gave him da'wah. He has to respond to the da'wah, but he doesn't need to go and eat. He doesn't need to go and eat. Eating is not necessary, but going there and presenting yourself there, that part is necessary. Okay, if you don't have any excuse to go. Any valid excuse. رواه مسلم وأبو داود وفي رواية لمسلم إذا دعيتم إلى كراع فأجيبوه. وعن جابر هو ابن عبد الله رضي الله تعالى عنهما قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دعي أحدكم إلى طعام فليجب فإن شاء طعم وإن شاء ترك. Okay, here very clearly in this hadith of Jabir, he says that if you are invited to a feast, then you must respond. You must accept. You must accept the offer. And if you wish, you may eat. If you do not wish, you may leave. Okay? The point is that you presented yourself there. You went to the host and you said, here, I'm here for your wedding event or for your da'wah event. Okay? Rawahu Muslim wa Abu Dawood wa Nasa'i wa Ibn Majah. These 4 books. This hadith is inside. وعن ابي هريره رضي الله تعالى عنه ان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال حق المسلم على المسلم 5 رد السلام وعياده المريض واتباع الجنائز واجابه الدعوه وتشميت العاطس رواه البخاري ومسلم. Abu Hurairah رضي الله تعالى عنه narrates that Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, the right of a Muslim upon another Muslim is 5. Okay, count them. 5. The right upon one haq. Haq means the right of one to another. Haqqul ibad, haqqullah, haqqul ibad, we know that, yeah? So haq, the haq of another Muslim upon you, just for the sake that the person is a Muslim, just for the sake that because that person is a Muslim, this is your haq towards him. It doesn't need to be your brother, doesn't need to be your sister, doesn't need to be your uncle, doesn't need to be your sasa, doesn't need to be your mama, okay? Just because he's a Muslim, these are the 5 huquq, 5 haq that he deserves from you. What's the first one? Raddu salam. Okay? If someone gives salam, you must respond. You must respond to the salam. Wa iyadatul marid. If he is ill, if he is sick, okay, you've heard that he's in the hospital, something happened to him, accident happened, you must go and see him. Okay? Just the mere fact that he's a Muslim. It doesn't need to be your neighbor. Neighbor has more rights. Neighbor has much more rights than this. Okay? Just the fact that you know that he's a Muslim, you must go and visit him. You must respond to his salam. I've seen so many people that you give salam to them, they don't respond. Then you start thinking, is this person a Muslim? Naturally, you're going to start thinking like this. Because the person is not giving the response to my salam. And this is one of the haqq of another Muslim. You have to. It is sunnah to give salam. It is wajib to reply back. It is wajib to reply back, yes. So this is the first one. Second one is when he is ill, you go and visit him. Third one, ittiba'ul janaiz. When he dies, you go and perform the salatul janaza. You go and perform the salatul janaza upon him. If any one of us dies, then inshallah you come to our salatul janaza. Wa ijabatul da'wah. And when he gives you da'wah, you respond to his da'wah. This is the one to our topic. Ijabatul da'wah. Whenever he gives you da'wah for food, you go for it. You go for the food. وَتَشْمِيتُ الْعَاطِسِ. And the 5th haqq upon another Muslim, one Muslim upon another Muslim, is when he sneezes, he says, Alhamdulillah, you say, Yarhamukallah. You say, Yarhamukallah. And then he would reply, Yahdikumullahu wa yuslihu balakum. So this is in Bukhari and Muslim. وعن عكرمة رضي الله عنه قال كان ابن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنهما يقول إن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى عن طعام المتبارين أن يؤكل رواه أبو داود. Ikrimah رضي الله تعالى عنه reports that from Ibn Abbas رضي الله تعالى عنه that verily Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم used to prohibit food from those who are vying with each other, those who are competing with each other. Okay, this is completely wrong. Now we go into another chapter within this book, within the book of foods, licking the fingers and getting the blessings. The blessings of food is left on the fingers. The last part of the food is where the blessings are. Likewise, we read the hadith in the beginning of the chapter where the food comes down on the middle part of the food, the top part of the food and the middle part of the food. Now we're going to go on to وعن جابر رضي الله تعالى عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أمر بلعق الأصابع والصحفة وقال إنكم لا تدرون في أي طعامكم البركة رواه مسلم. Jabir رضي الله تعالى عنه says that Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم ordered to lick the fingers after you finish eating. Of course we eat with fingers, we eat with our hand, we are Muslims, okay? Don't start taking the culture of the non-Muslims. I've seen so many Arabs do this, and I hate it. I really hate it. Because they're the ones that we look up to. And I've seen shuyukh do it as well. Okay? They start having pizza with knife and fork. Thinking like, what is this? No? There's a level of leaving the sunnah. This is just on another level. This is unacceptable. You know? Anyway, astaghfirullah. Allah save us from misrepresenting the Sharia. Misrepresenting the Sharia. Sunnah is Sunnah. Accept the Sunnah and follow the Sunnah. Khalas. Don't start coming and trying and twisting it. If you don't want to follow it, you don't want to follow it. That's your problem. Don't make it a culture and make excuses. It's your weakness. Accept your weakness. Khalas. You know? Khalas. So here, Rasulullah, he ordered to lick the fingers after eating food. All the Sahaba, they used to eat with the fingers. Before eating, you have to wash your hands. We done those ahadiths. And also to lick the plate. Lick the plate clean. Yes, this is another sunnah most people forget. In fact, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha used to say that when the plates used to come, and she used to wash the plates, and the plates used to come, I used to know which one was the plate of Rasulullah. Because of the way he cleaned it completely, it was shining clean. Okay? Subhanallah. So this is the sunnah of Rasulullah. This is the sunnah of Rasulullah. Licking your fingers is the sunnah of Rasulullah. Your hand is washed. That's the same food that you ate from the same plate. Why are you having a dislike for licking your fingers? It doesn't make sense, does it? Logically, it doesn't make sense. Astaghfirullah. وَقَالَ إِنَّكُمْ لَا تَدْرُونَ فِي أَيِّ طَعَامِكُمُ الْبَرَكَةُ. You don't know which part of the food that the barakah lies in. Okay? You don't know which part of the food the barakah lies in the sense that by you having this last piece of barakah, maybe this will keep you full until probably the next day. Some people, they can go with 1 meal a day, and we done the hadith is on 1 meal a day. Abu Juhayfa's hadith. Subhanallah. This hadith is in Muslim. وعنه رضي الله تعالى عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إذا وقعت لقمة أحدكم فليأخذها فليمط ما كان بها من أذى وليأكلها ولا يدعها للشيطان ولا يمسح يده بالمنديل حتى يلعق أصابعه فإنه لا يدري في أي طعامه البركة رواه الإمام مسلم. Here, Jabir radiallahu anhu was the mufti of the Sahaba. Just like Ibn Abbas, just like Abdullah bin Mas'ud, just like all the other companions, Ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and the 4 Khulafa al-Rashidin. Likewise, Jabir radiallahu anhu had a very close bond with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is why he was able to learn so much from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Here, the hadith is on the authority of Jabir radiallahu anhu. He says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, if a morsel of food falls from your hand whilst eating, some part of it falls from your hand, he must take it and remove the parts which have gotten dirty. If there's any dirt on it, then he must remove it. If there's any dirt on it. If there's no dirt on it, generally the way we eat on our plastic stuff on the table, which is normally clean. Normally we clean that before we eat. So if a luqma were to fall on that plastic part, then we must pick it up and eat it. Why? It's part of our food. It's part of our food. فَلْيُمِطْ مَا كَانَ بِهَا مِنْ أَذَى. If there's any harm, if there's any dirt on it, then you must remove it and he must eat it. وَلَا يَدَعَهَا لِلشَّيْطَانِ. He must not leave it for shaitan. Here, وَلَا يَدَعَهَا لِلشَّيْطَانِ can also mean that don't waste it. Don't waste it. Don't waste food. Okay? There are people all around the world, we know, are starving. People of Gaza right now are starving. They need our aid. We must find avenues to give that aid, inshallah. وَلَا يَمْسَحْ يَدَهُ بِالْمِنْدِيلِ. This is a very clear statement. A lot of us do this when we go to restaurants. Do not wipe it off with tissue. I translated that tissue. Here, mindil refers to handkerchief. Handkerchief, okay? But don't wipe off your fingers with your tissue before licking them clean. Okay, licking the fingers, I told you last time when I was explaining that there's specific enzymes that come out of your fingers at the time when you're eating. When hot food goes next to your fingers, automatically there's enzymes. You know, digestive enzymes you need for food to digest. Likewise, enzymes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the mechanism that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in us. Whenever food wants to go in us, the enzymes need to also go with us. Otherwise, that food won't get digested thoroughly, properly. وَلَا يَمْسَحْ يَدَهُ بِالْمِنْدِينِ. He must not, wipe his hands off with tissue. حَتَّى يَلْعَقَ أَصَابِعَهُ. Until he licks off his fingers after food. فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَدْرِي فِي أَيِّ طَعَامِهِ الْبَرَكَةِ. For indeed he does not know where the barakah in the food lies in. Okay, we'll end off here inshallah. Then after next week, inshallah, we should be able to go through other hadiths regarding fasting. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la